Imagine for the next 25 years of your life, you're going to be confined to 40 to 50 square feet. Imagine after that, you're going to have no job, no education, no support system, and no money. Over 2 million inmates a year ask themselves these questions as they pass through the revolving door of our prison systems. Our government has incarcerated over 2 million individuals and spends billions of dollars housing and feeding and trying these individuals. Our country simply needs to reform our prison system by providing treatment and rehabilitation rather than warehousing. After extensively researching this topic, I'm credible to speak to you about prison reform. I'm going to be laying out the main problems, some of the main causes, and a couple solutions to the problems. According to Peter Cattell from Prison Reform, on April 6, 2007, in California, there are over 173,000 individuals living in prisons designed for a maximum of 83,000. This is a picture from retrieved from the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, showing inmates living in bunks 3 high from wall to wall in a gymnasium. Those are their living quarters. This isn't unique just to California, but it is common all across the country. On August 3, 2007, Donald Frazier of the Philadelphia Tribune reported that 1 in every 136 United States citizens is living behind bars. Aside from prisons being overcrowded, their budgets are getting cut, so rehabilitation programs are getting cut. John Wildermuth of the San Francisco Chronicle on January 12, 2008 reported that California plans to cut their Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation budget by $260 million over the next year and a half. And by keeping people incarcerated, our system is simply just wasting money. Maureen Martin of the Wisconsin State Journal reported on January 9, 2008 that a state report claimed that the state could experience a $43 million annual savings by providing drug treatment rather than incarcerating individuals convicted of drug crimes. This graph shows this comparison. This bottom is a $43 million of the projected savings. This top bar is the general program revenue at UW-Stout. It's retrieved from the University of Wisconsin Annual Budget Report for 2006-2007. However, just looking at this savings could result in 81% of Stout's revenue. This spending our money on much more reasonable things rather than just wasting it on holding people in some concrete cell. Some of the causes of these problems are having programs like the 3 strikes law, which creates, after 3 convictions, you have to spend a minimum of 25 years behind bars, and then after that 25 years, you're eligible for parole, but if not granted, you spend life behind bars. I think this is a great program for individuals who commit serious crimes such as rape or child molestation. However, nonviolent crimes like drug possession and burglary, I don't know if this is reasonable. Patrick Marshall in 3 Strikes Laws on May 10, 2006 reported about a man who stole 9 videotapes from 2 separate Kmarts and now has been sentenced to 50 years to life for stealing these 9 videotapes. This is his 3rd burglary conviction, and has been experiencing a heroin addiction his entire life. Why hasn't anyone dealt with his heroin addiction, and why hasn't anyone helped him get a job to, reduce the need for stealing? It's just ridiculous. Other systems, such as the summary parole system, which will, upon convict upon release, doesn't have to check in to a parole officer and cannot be sent back to prison. This simply just slows down the habitual system of our government now. If a convict is found in possession of narcotics, say, they can't just be sent straight back to prison. They have to have new charges filed and then be held for a new trial and then sentencing and then get sent back to prison. This system of summary parole is actually how Governor Schwarzenegger plans to cut $260 million from the budget by releasing 22,000 nonviolent criminals early into the system on summary parole. California experiences a 90% recidivism rate. That means of those 22,000 released, more than likely 19,800 of those are going to be rearrested, retried, re-sentenced, and then re-put back into prison. Also, prisons just simply create a total universe, and they cripple the individuals. Dora Shiro, who wrote Correcting Corrections, Missouri's parallel universe states that a total universe is when someone dictates what everything goes on inside of you. These wardens and guards decide when people get up, go to sleep, go eat, go to the bathroom. It's a crippling effect that just needs to be solved. Some solutions that are proposed for these causes and problems of our prison system are focused on treatment and rehabilitation rather than just simply warehousing. Following suit of the Chinese, Tang Yaon of the Beijing Review reported that the Chinese are seeking psychological rehabilitation for their prisoners for their prison reform. Kind of along the same lines, some states have introduced drug courts where individuals undergo mandatory drug tests before being sent to prison if they are found in violation of drug court laws. However, they still live outside of prison and support their families and have jobs. Another idea kind of the Chinese use is community corrections. What happens is a surrogate family takes in a convict who is released and supports and shelters them until that convict is able to get a job and support himself and stand on his own 2 feet. The Chinese have actually done this with 150,000 convicts, and they'll only experience a 1% recidivism rate, which is incredible. Our national recidivism rate right now is 50%. The need for prison reform within our country is an undeniable issue. By focusing on rehabilitation and treatment, community support, hopefully we can move towards a more successful and productive penal system while having a significantly less burden financially to take care of. There's systems in the world and domestically that have been proven to do a better job thus eliminating higher recidivism rates, and many of them have involved treatment and rehabilitation. Treatment and rehabilitation does not equate to being soft or easy on criminal actions. However, what it does is prepare people better for life outside of prison, and thus creating better individuals and less crime and less money spent. So hopefully by looking towards solutions of we rather than me and focusing on the short term, hopefully we can see in the long term and look towards programs to better educate, provide some sort of vocation and support system for our convicts in this country to become a better individual for themselves and for an overall society.